Alright. Welcome back to Sideboard MTG. I'm your host, Eric, and we're going to be playing another awesome combo deck today. We're going to be playing Infinite Squee Combo. And I don't just mean any Squee deck. This is not a deck that is decent and then just has Squee thrown in it. No offense to Zaxadillo. He built probably one of the coolest Squee decks that I've played. It was able to just flat out win. We played one by Albatross, and Albatross. He had another really good Squee deck, but those did not use Squee the way today's deck did. Those decks were just really good, solid decks that were able to use Squee and get value out of being able to use Squee over and over again. However, those decks could win without Squee. This one, however, cannot. It does run the Lost Legacy so that you can pull your Squees out if you do need them. So mainboard Lost Legacy in this deck, so I know a lot of you will be happy about that. You know, after you get your Squees, you can start using them for other things, or if there's some threats that you need to deal with, you can just use Lost Legacy to deal with those. Teferi is one of those. Approach with a Second Sun, something like that. Either way, we do have this Infinite Squee Combo deck. I'll go over the deck and we'll talk about what makes it tick, and then we'll jump into some games here. All right. Uh-oh. Got to get that up. Where's my preview? Bam! There we go. Squee. Oh, got a trailer there. All right. All right. This is a very interesting deck. It doesn't matter if they kill Squee. It doesn't matter if they exile Squee, because we can cast Squee for the exact same price from our hand, from the graveyard, or from exile. That's right. You gotta be pretty smart to live as long as him, but not being able to die, it helps. It helps. I like that. I like the flavor text on Squee. Squee's pretty cool. I do like this Squee the Immortal. There's a lot of people that wanted to play with Squee, so we're gonna be playing with him today. Oh man, I'm missing a light. One moment. Gotta get this other light. Maybe that'll help. Get rid of. There we go. It's still awful bright on one side. That natural light from that big window, you know. Anyway, lamp, you're just not doing it, bro. You're not doing it. Anyway, we've got a pretty cool deck here, and it is completely centered around Squee. So let's talk a little bit about the combo. Then we'll talk about the pieces that are here to protect the combo and to help you get the combo. So the first part is Squee. We're going to be casting Squee. We're going to have a Squee. We need two Squees somewhere. Doesn't matter if they're in exile, as long as they're not in our library. Exile, graveyard, or in our hand. We're going to cast one Squee, have one Squee on the battlefield, and then we're going to cast another Squee to kill the Squee that is on the battlefield. And then we're going to continue to do this over and over and over again. How are we going to do that? Well, let's talk about that. So there's a nice little interaction here with something like Squee, where if it costs 3 mana or less and you cast it off of a Gilded Lotus, which will produce 3 mana of any color, so we'll produce 3 red mana, we'll cast our Squee. And because of Paradox Engine, once we cast that spell, it's going to untap our Gilded Lotus, which will then allow us to cast yet another Squee. Will then allow us to cast another Squee, and so on and so forth. Now, how do we get a payoff? Like, if we're casting Squees over and over and over again, but he doesn't have haste, he doesn't have any of that, what is the payoff here? Well, the payoff is Bantu's Monument. So whenever we cast a spell, a creature spell, each opponent's going to lose a life, we're going to gain a life. So as I'm casting through these Squees, we're going to be, you know, draining them for 1. We gain 1, they lose 1. We gain 1, they lose 1. So we never have to attack into a Settle the Wreckage. We never have to tap our creature to be to be exiled, which it doesn't really matter, as Squee is the only creature in the deck. Ooh, wow. There went your kill spells. So there's going to be a lot of decks that's got a lot of mainboard kill spells. They're just dead. Just dead. I mean, yeah, kill Squee. Go ahead. Whatever. Our main plan here is we need to get the Gilded Lotus and we need to get the Paradox Engine on the battlefield. At that point, we can tap the Gilded Lotus, play Bantu's Monument, untap Gilded Lotus, start the Squee chain. So all we need is to get down this Paradox Engine, get down a Gilded Lotus, and go from there. So not very hard to get that done. You do need a way to grab some of these pieces, and Squee is going to be the easiest piece that we can grab with Lost Legacy. You can choose a non-artifact, non-land card name. All right, search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. One of the cool parts about Squee is the fact that if we have him in our hand and we Lost Legacy ourselves to put him into exile, we pull all the copies out of our hand, because Squee's just as good in exile or in the graveyard as he is in our hand. So if we target ourselves, this next line will actually kick in. That player shuffles their library, then draws a card for each card exiled from hand this way. So the ones in hand actually become draw spells after we Lost Legacy. And, you know, of course, like I said, Squee's great wherever he is. Now, do we plan on doing like a 2-1 beatdown with Squee? Probably not. But you can play a Squee, make them play their Goblin Chain Whirler so that they have to so that they can kill the Squee. Then you can play another Squee. Like, you can just play him back after the Chain Whirler. Not exactly our choice, like our best choice for interactions, but you know, it's there. Now, there's some other cards here that are going to help us find our combo pieces, since Lost Legacy is going to be the piece that's going to help us find Squee itself. Board the Weatherlight will let us look at the top 5 cards of our library and choose a historic card from among them and put it into our hand. Well, Paradox Engine and Gilded Lotus and Bantu's Monument are all artifacts. Now, Paradox Engine and Paradox Engine and Bantu's Monument happen to be legendary artifacts, so we only need one of those. But Board the Weatherlight will also help us find a Squee if we need that. But this is really all we need. Yes, this is For the Horde's combo, Michael. Welcome. I'm happy to see you. I'll flip over to chat in just a moment, guys. But I'm glad you guys could show up. Welcome, Steve and Rush. Who else we got? Kyle, Paul. We'll get some more shout outs in just a minute. We do have answers to most things in the meta here. We've got Vraska's Contempt. We've got Cast Down. We've got Duress. These are just really good ways to deal with the meta. Not to mention the Sweltering Suns in this deck. Sweltering Suns is really good in the meta right now. I think that 3 damage is really important. Golden Demise is okay. The Pyroclasm. I think that's like Pyroclasm. That's the nickname for Fiery Cannonade. Anyway, Pyroclasm's not a bad one. So if you want to run Fiery Cannonade or Golden Demise, those aren't really bad cards. They work pretty well, but you're not going to get those 3-powered bodies, Gonti, Gifted Aetherborn, you know, some of those cards that are getting played in the mono black. You have a lot of like 3-powered creatures. Goblin Chain Whirler can end games all by himself with that first strike and a little bit of help from like magma sprays and things like that. So 3 power is really, really important to be able to deal with. So I really like this fact that he chose Sweltering Suns over something like the 2 cards I just mentioned. Like Golden Demise and Fiery Cannonade. Now, if you wanted to go with something like a Yahini's Expertise, I can see that, because Yahini's would allow you to play it off of a and then play a 3-drop off of that. Now, you would be able to stack some mana in the middle of those, because of the way that Yahini's Expertise reads. You would be casting that 3 mana spell. So as you cast Yahini's Expertise, your Gilded Lotus would untap. With it on the stack, you would go ahead and tap it and float it for mana. Let it resolve. It would put the neg3 down. Then you would choose what card you want to cast. You'd put that onto the stack. The neg3 would resolve. Your spell would resolve, untapping everything, and then you would just tap the Gilded Lotus again. So you could build up some mana there with Yahini's Expertise. So I do think that if you wanted to put something like that in this deck, that it would be a very good card to put in here. Because we're running 4 mainboard Lost Legacies, he didn't have any copies of Sorcerer's Spyglass in the deck. And again, because of the Lost Legacies, I don't believe that there overwhelmingly important, but I do like Sorcerer's Spyglass. So when we get into the sideboard, I've made one change to the deck, and I don't think that For the Horde will get that mad at it. He is here, so we'll see what he says about my one change, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The good removal spells that he has: Cast Down, Duress. I'm a little bit on the fence about Duress. Like, do you want 4 main copies of mainboard Duress? But hey, why not? If you are in a really control-heavy meta, why not? He does have good kill spells, couple copies of Vraska's Contempt, 3 copies of Cut to Ribbons. Now, if you're playing with Gilded Lotus and things like that, you might be able to have enough mana to really finish someone off. The problem is I don't think we're going to be doing much chip damage. We're not going to be getting any kind of real damage in, before we actually go off. So I don't really see us ribbonsing someone to death unless we use multiple copies of it. However, multiple copies of ribbons are in the deck, and that is a possibility. Now, another card in the main board that I don't feel is actually like that necessary is the Hazard's Monument. I understand that if you get Hazard's Monument and you start going off with Squee, you automatically get to draw down to your Bantu's Monument, but I think that if this was just another copy of Bantu's Monument, you would just be able to draw down to it anyway. Or you would just have it anyway, and once you have your combo going, there's really no point in doing absolutely anything else, because you're just going to repeatedly cast this over and over and over. So the biggest fear here is that someone hangs on to an Abrade, waits for us to get started, and then abrades us. So I would like to have some way to avoid that. However, Hazard's Monument in the deck does turn the deck into an infinite mana combo, which at that point you could just burn someone out with ribbons. Okay, so I do want to point out that interaction, that because Squee is red, you're going to reduce that 1 mana off of Squee, and you're going to be able to tap to make 3 mana, but you're only going to be spending 2 of it. So you're going to be banking 1 red mana every turn. So then the last time you just go ahead and make black, and then you can cast that ribbons for their life total. So that is an option. Ribbons is there, and you can do that. I'm sure For the Horde is probably mentioning that at some point over here. Anyway, that's the main board. So like, yeah, the Hazard's Monument is there. So I mean, I guess that is a alternate win condition, but I'm pretty sure that the Bantu's Monument is what we're looking for. So either one will kill the opponent, though. All right, let's look at his sideboard, and you'll see where I've made my one change. There were originally 2 copies of Oketra's Monument, and if you guys check the link in the description box below and it takes you over to manatraders, you're going to see that there was originally 2 copies of Oketra's Monument in the deck. I did want at least 1 copy of Sorcerer's Spyglass here. I just think that it's a really good catch-all card. Even though Lost Legacy is also a catch-all, I do like the Sorcerer's Spyglass on turn 2. You get to peek their hand, you know exactly what you're looking for. A lot of times, like in these decks, Lost Legacy is not going to be really targetable on turn 3 against them, and if we wait much longer than that, they might be able to get down a Karn or something like that. And if you're just guessing and you say Karn and they drop Chandra, that's not going to be great for you. If you say Chandra and they drop Karn, or something like that, it's going to be bad. But we can actually use this to stop things after the fact as well. Heart of Kirin comes down a little bit before us, where we can no longer just call and say, hey, we're going to remove it from the battlefield, and you can't cast down a Heart of Kirin or something like that. So a Sorcerer's Spyglass also calls Heart of Kirin. We are slightly worried about something like a Thrashing Brontodon, and we know that he's getting a lot of play. We can't really afford them popping our only copy of Bantu's Monument, or our engine, our Paradox engine, or even the Lotus. Like, we can't really afford for them to pop those. So Spyglass is also really good against Thrashing Brontodon. We've seen that last night in some of the gameplay. Other than that, guys, like, the sideboard looks really good. We've got 4 copies of Divest so that we can pull some things out of their graveyard and things like that. Authority of the Consuls, we talked about this in Coffee Time, how good that Authority of the Consuls was, at holding back the red-black decks. It also slows down Heart of Kirin. Their creatures can't enter the battlefield and then immediately crew, because they're going to enter tapped, and we're going to gain that extra bit of life, which is going to give us a little bit more time to go off. I mean, we get our first real combo piece piece down on turn 5, so we do need to play that early control game and then just kind of slowly start, you know, squeezing those combo pieces out and then kind of going from there. Now, he is running 3 copies of Seal Away and 2 copies of Forsake the Worldly. The Seal Away is just a really good answer for any creature that taps, whether it's attacking or has a tap ability, and Forsake the Worldly is just a good answer for enchantments and artifacts, and if we put it into our deck and they don't pull an enchantment or artifact that we were really worried about, we can just cycle it away to help find more of our combo pieces. So I think that it looks like he has tried really, really hard to turn this janky combo into a very competitive deck. He has a very solid mana base here, even has Field Ruin in the mana base. I was looking at the mana base earlier, and I actually think that it's extremely solid. Maybe an extra Canyon Slough or something so that you could cycle a little bit later, but with the isolated chapels and things like that, I think that his mana base should be about where we want it to be. I haven't played with the deck at all yet, so you know I'm going to go ahead and disclaimer on that, but we've been looking at it for about a week and a half now, and I do understand how the interactions in it work. I might have left some interactions out. I am going to flip back over to chat now, so for the Horde, if you got something that I've left out, I'm sure you've already told chat about it, but refresh my memory here, if you will. Oh no! Squee! Squee! Ah, good old Squee! 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 I'm going to do that. We're going to do that every time. Every time we cast Squee, we're going to be like, Squee! Alright, anyway, Kilo, the board, the Weatherlight should be Fumigates and Settles. Okay, so you actually ended up going with, like, not the board, the Weatherlight. What? Then I've got an old list, man. When did you make that change? So, give me the numbers here. How many Fumigates, how many Settles? I don't think I have any Fumigates. We'll have to pick these up from manatraders, which is something that you guys can do if you want to sign up for manatraders. Make sure you use the link in the description box below, and if you do, use the coupon code SideboardMTG15. Saves you 15% on your first 3 months. Really good, especially when you're trying. You just want to try a $250 deck like Squee here. So, cool guy 291. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. My bad, dude. Like this was the list I seen on the Reddit. Like, did you post a new Reddit, or you know what? Just tell me how many you want me to put in here. I'll take the board, the Weatherlights out, and we'll put in Fumigates. Fumigate. 2 each. Okay. 2 fumes, 2 settles. Settles. Settle. Hey, I own Settle the Wreckage. What? I own Settle the Wreckage? Okay, cool. Whatever. Let me go pick up a couple Fumigates, and we'll go from there. I'll show you guys just how easy this is. We're just gonna hit the builder. This is manatraders, for those of you that haven't seen it. We'll just remove all cards. Remove all cards, right? Refresh, huh? Something? Yeah, there we go. Fume. And you don't even have to type it in. We're just gonna hit that. We're gonna go. We want 2 of those. Hit that rent button. It'll ask you, do you want to pick up some tickets or anything? And if you're connected to your PayPal account, you can just pay straight from your PayPal. manatraders is one of the few that actually works with PayPal. I know you can't buy tickets and things like that in the Magic store with your PayPal account, and that's big for some of you guys. So even if you're not planning on renting and things, making an account. And use the, like make an account, and you can actually at least buy tickets and things from them. They'll also buy your collections and buy your tickets. So like if maybe you're like, I'm going to rent. I don't even want my collection anymore because I'm just going to start renting for now. You can actually sell your entire collection or sell all those tickets and have that sent to your PayPal, so you can actually turn your tickets into cash. Something to think about. We'll say that. We're almost there. Doesn't take long to get your cards. So you know, it's a pretty good service. I have really enjoyed it, and I know that we wouldn't be able to play all the crazy decks that we play here on this channel without something like manatraders. So happy that we have a coupon code for, you know, all the people that watch this channel. They can get that much cheaper price than everyone else. So all right, we're just gonna grab our 2 cards, submit this. MTGO slow time. So, how does this combo work? What you do is you have Paradox Engine and Gilded Lotus, which will give you 3 mana every time that you go to cast something. The pirate percussionist. I like it, good sir. I like it. 2 fumigates and some bourbon fixes most problems, right? There you go. We're just with coffee today. It's still midday. You know, I usually try to wait till the sun goes down before I touch my 2 fingers of whiskey or bourbon. First time catching the stream live, says Stuart Mills. Been rewatching old streams for a while. Love the community involvement. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I am glad that you like the community involvement. And if you want to get involved yourself, I'm sure you got a deck out there that you like, or you can hop over to the Reddit where you can post that deck or vote on some other decks. Maybe you don't want to brew. Maybe you just want to vote. I am highly encouraging the viewers to actually, for those that even if you're not thinking about brewing, just go make a Reddit account and go to the SideboardMTG Reddit and comment on decks. Look at decks. You don't have to be vile, but you can tell people when, hey, look, I don't really like this card in there. And remember that when you're trying to be polite online, use your I sentences. Start with, I don't like this, or I don't think that this is a good idea, or something like that. And, you know, that puts the responsibility on yourself. So it's harder to make people upset. Brew with Brawl. You know, I'm still waiting. I want to see where the Brawl format goes, but I am highly intrigued about Brawl. So, well, thank you very much, Ronan. I originally, you know, was planning on just kind of, you know, streaming some podcast and things like that, like basically talking to people about Magic, and wasn't actually going to play any, and then like it just kind of happened that way. I was like, I'm going to play this deck. We're going to go from there. Either way, For the Horde, are you upset about the Spyglass over the extra copy of the Oketra's Monument, or am I safe to run that? James Carr, by the way, how do we feel about Ripjaw Raptor right now? I pushed you to add another land to your deck, drop Verdurus, and add a land and a Ripjaw Raptor. Well, you know, Ripjaw Raptor with Goblin Chainwhirler is absolutely terrific. I mean, they're now forced to give you an extra card if they play their Chainwhirler, and Ripjaw Raptor can block the Chainwhirler at the turn after it comes down. So you do need to be on the play to be able to catch it, but, you know, it's something that I think is a really good card right now. As long as there's Chainwhirlers in the format, Ripjaw Raptor is actually just better than Territorial Allosaur. I know a lot of people like the Territorial Allosaur, and it is a 5/5 body. It can't be cut to ribbons or anything like that, but I'm just a fan of the Ripjaw Raptor. I really am. I mean, drawing cards is always great. Giving yourself more card advantage, or even just giving yourself more Ripjaw Raptors, you know, that's always going to be good. It's just always going to be good. So, cheers, Horde, and B Drake, new to Standard and learning a lot from the stream. EDH player at heart, but looking to learn. So Standard is it's a lot different from EDH, with the fact that you got to worry about these consistencies. When you play an EDH, you don't have to worry that, are they going to have Soul Ring every single game? I mean, I don't know. Some people seem to have Soul Ring every single game when I play. But anyway, are they going to have Soul Ring every single game, or are they going to have? Are we going to be able to wait? Like, are we going to play different games every time we play Commander? In Standard, you're going to play the same game a lot. I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same, but you're going to have to use your pieces to fight against the same pieces every time. So, you have to go pick up your wife back soon. Well, be safe, sir. Drive safely. I'm going to start with this Canyon Slough here. This looks like a really good hand. We already have a Squee. We've got a Paradox Engine. We've got Cast Down. And a Sweltering Suns. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. For the Horde, that's a pretty solid opening hand. It does look good, doesn't it? Anyone have opinions for a Neheb the Eternal Brawl Commander? He's not used very often, and sometimes you feel like he could be better. Neb the Eternal. Which one is Neb the Eternal? Oh, look at this. Just more combo pieces. Gilded Lotus, and we're set. I like the Mario song. You guys let me know if I turn this up too loud. Somebody said that it wasn't loud enough to hear, so I might as well not even have it. So I would rather have music than to not have it. We'll play the Inspiring Vantage. Depending on what he plays here, we may just wait and Sweltering Suns. I am a little bit worried about whatever the cast is. I'm going to take the 3 damage. Ronas. Okay. Well, now I can't Sweltering Suns because I have to kill whatever he tries to activate Ronas with next turn. So, yeah. Gotta worry about that. We could just play Squee. Another Paradox Engine. Well, we're getting there. Yeah, I think I just have to kill the Scrap Heap Scrounger here. Jaya's Immolating Inferno is fun too. Oh, no, it's a Resilient Kenra. Here we go. Alright, we got it. Yay! So now we can start, like, trying to put down some combo pieces, I guess. I don't think I want to Lost Legacy right now. I mean, Lost Legacying against this deck means, like, what am I going to pull? Still Leaf Champion would probably be pretty good. I think I want to get down the Monument. I mean, I could have Sweltering Suns here, but Vicious Offering. Vicious Offering wouldn't be a bad card. I mean, you can always, like, play in Sack Squee, but I think with this, like, is this too loud now? Still Leaf Champion, so maybe I should have called the Still Leaf Champion. Yeah. We do not have many turns to find a Gilded Lotus, fellas. That's not horrible. That is not horrible. I mean, it could still get bad for us here, but so now he needs to pump the Resilient Kenra to be able to swing. He did not pump the Kenra. We need Land Lotus. Or for him to play other things that die. Well, not terrific here. There's an isolated chapel. We can cast... We can cast Sweltering Suns here. It's the only way we live, even remotely, but we're still dead. I mean, he's got 8 power on the battlefield. He spends 3 mana, pump the Thrashing Brontodon, and we are dead. So, yeah. Man, that's too loud. I can't think. Yep, there's the pump. Swings for 10. And that's the game. And that's game. Okay, well, alright, alright. Let's see what we can do here. Not worried about duressing this deck. I'm worried about divesting this deck. Seal Away is going to be really good here, and can you call a creature that has an activated ability that is in the graveyard? It's of sources, so it's not something that has to be on the battlefield, right? Like, I mean, if I call Scrap Heap Scrounger, you can't activate it in the graveyard, right? What's up, guys? I didn't even know you were streaming. That's why you need to hit that bell for the notifications. Alright, let's, looks like some of you guys have hit that like button, though. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It does help other people get a chance to see this. Shrugs. Assemble the Monumenttron. Right, like, what do I take out? Let's take out maybe 2 Lost Legacies. So yeah, not calling Still Leaf Champion there was a no-no. I do think, actually, I probably need to keep in this Lost Legacy and call Thrashing Brontodon in this game. Cut's going to be better than it is against most decks. Vraska's Contempt, Seal Away, Fumigate, all of these are great. I think that I can actually get away with get rid of Sweltering Suns. So I'm going to take the extra card here and bring in a Crook. If we get the Crook, we can just kind of, you know, eat at those Scrap Heap Scroungers in the graveyard or something like that. So I almost brought in that Spyglass as that one of, but ended up going against it. So we have a Divest, we have a Cast Down, we have Bantu's Monument, or Hazoret's Monument. We don't have a Squee, so we're not going to be like casting a lot there. So I will still keep this because like we're holding all cards that we can cast. So yeah, we'll go for the turn 1 Divest here and see what happens. Okay, so regardless of zones, I thought because it said source that's how it worked, but I wasn't 100%. We just don't want him having Thrashing Brontodon. Galta, Still Leaf Champion. We can kill the Still Leaf. We could take Scrap Heap. I think I'm taking Thrashing Brontodon because I don't even want it to get a chance to hit the battlefield. If we kill the... Oh, that's sweetness right there. That's some real sweetness. I'm just going to make use of my mana here, play my Crook. White chat. Oh, game chat. My bad, guys. My bad. You check just in case. I appreciate that, James. Yeah, I think the keyword there was like this, that from a source, like it, or if it would have said from choose a card, like card activated abilities from that card. I think that would have circumnavigated zones. Hey. Cool. You're hoping to see your deck get played. Yeah. I know, like we played that, dude scooped, and it was like, well, and I was kind of running low on time that day, so I did just have to call it, and that is a thing. That is a thing. Oh, sweet. All right, well, we get to kill this. We get to kill the Still Leaf Champion next turn. Oh, does he not have a land? Yep, I'm gonna cast that down because we can cut the Still Leaf Champion. There's a black source. There's that Still Leaf. And we're gonna exile Scrap Heap. A Scrounger. This Scrounger is gone. You'd like to see a version I tuned it into at the end, with a kind of blend of the two. I don't think you need the trials, but I think those white cartouches are really good because like they pump your 1 toughness bodies or your smaller bodies. It pumps them above shocks, magma sprays, or well, not the 1 toughness, but like your knights. Those all get pumped above shock and magma spray. The ones that are 1 power, you can put that on them, and now they've got first strike and can survive, you know, the opponent casting a 3 mana Goblin Chain Whirler. So like I just think that the 1 mana white cartouche is just really good in your version of the deck. Oh, you want to see how you want to see it run? Okay, that's actually the version I still have saved. I've yet to remove it because it will get played here in the next couple days. Might play it tomorrow. Yeah, we might play it tomorrow. Bantu's Monument in the Crook. No, we don't have red. What was I thinking? Oh no. Well, we're taking a beating from this Still Leaf Champion. I don't know what I was thinking that we didn't have the mana to cast this. We do need to draw some land. Any land? Like 2 in a row? Because that's about how many turns we've got here. Taking 5 this turn, 8 next turn. Unless we top deck like anything other than Canyon Slough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. I hate to let him draw this card. We've got to remove that Galta or we're just like really dead. We have got to get that Galta. I mean, we let him draw a card for this, so like that's horrible. So we'll grab that Galta. Let's look at his deck here. It's got 3 Ronuses, 2 Resilient Kenras, 2 Nissa Vital Force. Looks like he's got 3 Merfolk Branchwalkers because we've got 1 on the battlefield. He does run 4 Blossoming Defense. He's running 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Still Leaf Champions, Scrap Heap Scrounger, running 4 Thrashing Brontodons, Vraska, and Vraska's Contempt. So yeah, okay. The 1 Galta, he had it in his hand. All right, well, he's got a Vraska in his hand. That's what we know about. Calronus, Galta too good. Galta's too good. Galta's good too. Well, I knew that he had the Galta in hand, and at this point he has 8 power on the battlefield. We were about to see that Galta, and right now we're not hitting those lands. So I was like, we see it, we're completely dead. Wow. Okay. He upped it. He's no longer worried about hitting that. Yeah, he's just trying to kill us ASAP. I mean, there's 11 damage coming. We're going to be at 4. We're going to be a couple turns off this. So... Well... That's why we do these in solo queues now, guys. That's why I'm not doing Patreon games as 3 decks in one day. We're going to play another one. We're going to play this again. We can make this happen. This will work. It was the mono green Stompy Splash Black for Heart of Kirin, and I'm guessing that he put the Hearts of Kirin in the sideboard or something like that. But Splash Black for Heart of Kirin or something. So show him you ain't no punk. Hey man, you go infinite? Not yet. Not yet, good sir. We're gonna try though. We've got Brain Basher as our opponent. Scrap Heap, methinks. Yeah, it's splash black for Scrap Heap Scrounger and Heart of Kieran, and hey, we see a Gilded Lotus, we see Bantu's Monument. We just need to find a squee. I'm gonna keep this hand. We have things. We can hopefully do things. Yeah, Scrap Heap's really good. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna grind this one a couple more games here. Hopefully we can hit this combo. I want to be able to showcase the combo, and you know, sometimes against combo, like, things are just too quick. So I do think that we can wait a moment on this red deck. I wonder if he's red black. It's Squee. I mean, I'm more interested in staving damage, like holding off damage, than I am. I'm gonna kill that. Oh, I can't kill that. Oh. I forgot. It's not Doomblade. It's not Doomblade. Let's see if we draw a land. Maybe we can just kill them both. Land. It's tap. So we just try to stop like a on-crop crasher or something that would deal a ton of damage to a cistern. Soul Scars Mage. This is okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and cast down on the Bomat Courier. I don't want him getting like extra cards and things like that. So, and he's to the point where he only has 3, and he was going to have 3 under the Bomat, so it was almost a 1-for-1 swap there. I mean, I don't want to allow that. Like, if he was able to like just go ahead and go burn you, then sack. So. He's got 3 cards in hand. I'm just going to single target this Kari Zeb. And then I'm going to pass the turn. Like, we're getting hurt on land here pretty bad. Like, so now we need 5 mana to be able to deal with that. Yeah, if we don't hit land, then we're not going to do anything. Fumigate. Let's go ahead and try to get a combo piece out. Maybe that should have been Squee. Calling sick, Weldon the stomach bug is going around. Oh, you gotta go adult, man. I know. Adulting. It's a thing. It's a thing. There's JOBs, sir. Well, no land. You can't play if you don't have land. I mean, that's what got us in the game, the other game against the green-black deck. I mean, the Fumigates are great, but if you can't get to 5 mana, you're not casting Fumigate. So, like, it's unfortunate. Like, we have no out right here. None. No out. Okay, well, let's jump in the sideboard here. It's 24 lands. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, 24 lands, like, seems fine. Maybe it should be 25 or 26, but I mean, because you cannot miss a land drop. maybe it should be 25 or 26. Like if I'm playing a deck where I expect that I need to play something on turn 5, I'll play about 26 lands in that. So I'm actually thinking about 2 of these duresses need to become land, just to smooth things out. But again, I am going to go with the divest, and I'm going to go with authority and seal away because these are all really good cards. I'm going to drop 1 cast out and 3 lost legacies here, and then we're going to drop the Hazard's Monument. I think this is the way that I'd want to go with this. I mean, we have to cut some of our kill, and cast down's probably one of the weaker ones. I mean, I kind of wish we had Fatal Push right there, but I'll take it. This isn't the greatest hand, but it's also not the worst hand either. We might end up just lost legacying for Phoenixes because, like, we're just not going to hit Phoenix. We do need to be able to draw lands, though. Like, we have to draw lands, but I think in most worlds I keep this hand. We don't have double black, we don't have double red yet, so neither one of these are actually online to be cast. We can cast the divest and at least know where we need to place this cut to ribbons. Alright, so I'm going to keep, and we're gonna try it. So we'll Concealed Courtyard and just divest on 1. We need to stop the most damage out of this divest. So, like, what will stop the most damage? Oh, okay, so he's going to be going Chandra. I think we take the Chain Whirler. Earthshaker Kenra's coming in at 2, going to do 2 damage on 2, going to do 4 damage by 3, 6 damage by 4, where Chain Whirler is going to do 4 damage by 4. So Kenra is actually more damage. Pomac Courier is going to do 4 damage by 4. Soulscar Mage is not going to do that much. This Release the Gremlins is going to be a little bit scary. I think Earthshaker Kenra is the one that we want to take. Yeah. Like, when I look at damage incoming, right? Like, that was my entire justification behind that, because all of the creatures can be dealt with by Sweltering Suns. Like, as soon as I seen that all creatures fell within the range of the Sweltering Suns, at that point it was 100% about what will be stopping the most damage and get me the opportunity to get this Sweltering Suns down. So, yes, I get that some of those cards would be a little bit harder to deal with than others, but again, our 1 card that we were going to cast is the card that would have dealt with all of them. So, hey, and we've gotten it. I am going to play this Clifftop Retreat to try to avoid a little bit of punishment. We could end up getting punished here by just drawing another Inspiring Statuary, or sorry, Inspiring Vantage, or we could end up drawing something like Concealed Courtyard. There are still some in the deck, so either one could be possible, and that would punish us a little bit for not playing this Inspiring Vantage, but I'm willing to take that risk. There we go, Mountain. See, that seems great. Do we just cut something right here and then make him, like, play more? I think I'd just pass. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. You're gonna go stream H1Z1 on your Twitch. You're a Counter-Strike fan, right? Isn't that H1Z1? Alright, so here comes the damage. It looks like he never got his 3rd land, so we'll be be popping that Goblin Chain Whirler a different way. I am going to go ahead and cast this Sweltering Suns, and we're going to clean the board up here. Again, next turn, if he draws a land, then he can play card, then sack, sack the Bomat, and then he would have advantage. So it was time to go ahead and finish that Bomat off. Just showed up. What's Infinite with Squee all about? Well, if you have a Gilded Lotus and a Paradox Engine down, you can just cast Squee over and over and over again. And this deck uses Bantu's Monument to abuse that interaction. We're going to play the Gilded Lotus. We're going to play black. We're going to grab Release the Gremlins. I know he has to top deck a land to even be able to play it. Does he have a Braid? He has 4 copies of a Braid in the deck as well. Okay, well, let's hope he doesn't get one. Sounds a lot less clunky. It is the big issue with it is the cards do require you getting to turn 4 and 5 before, or turn 5 before you can even begin trying to play the combo, and that's a little bit slow. So, Scott Peach, thank you for subscribing. I mean, it's kind of where we're at. A perfect hand, turn 6 is the earliest you can combo off. Okay. Have you thought about Goblin Prospector in the deck? Just to be able to combo off a little bit faster, maybe? I'm going to hang on to this. Yeah, we can kill it right now, but I want to wait. We stop more damage if we kill it this turn. So now he's like Chandra and... Nope, that is a Hazarat. Well, we've got 2 turns. This one... No, we've got 1 turn. 1 turn. We have to top deck what? Fumigate to even stand a chance? That don't even work. Alright, that's game. Can't beat red deck. Yeah. No sir, that is game. Alright, for the Horde, we're gonna do 1 more game. I'm losing confidence here, man. This is 60 points we've burned on this deck. It was supposed to be great. Where's the combo? Where is the combo, sir? Alright, well, we have Squee, we have Hazard's Monument, we have a bad hand as far as the lands go here. I'm gonna mulligan this hand like this. I don't like the looks of this hand. Those basics I don't feel good about it. You were convinced that your decks hate me. I'm keeping it. I am. I'm gonna keep it. We're just gonna cast everything we get. I'm gonna put that on the bottom. We're just go to Canyon Slough, and then we're great. Here we go. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to do it this game. These merfolk are not going to get us. I don't know what this is. It may not be merfolk, but we're still going to. We're going to do this. Probably even going to play Squee. I am casting Squee at some point in this game. Jade Light Ranger. Okay, so we're looking at green-black Sultai mid-range. Sultai mid-range here? Yeah. He pitched the Scarab God. He either needs mana or we're dead. We're just dead. I mean, we can hit our 5th mana. I mean, we can cycle this. Squee! You block Squee. You get in there. You just stand in front of that Jade Light Ranger and you just say no. Fellas, you're out. See you later. See you, Rush. Take care. Ooh, got him. Got him. Squee taking down the big Jade Light Ranger. I kind of want to call the Scarab God. Kind of want to call the Scarab God here and just cast it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to cycle this Canyon Slew, though. Like, the Settle meant that we have a little bit more protection, so... Like, if we can manage it, we do need 2 copies of Squee, like, for this to really go off, so... I am more interested in just getting this combo going. Yeah, that's fine. There it is. There's another Squee. Okay. Should have called the Scarab God. Alright, well. Should I have played the Squee there? Probably. And just bring back your other the Scarab God, right? He's gonna bring back my Squee. He's got 4/4 Squee! I can still cast it. Cast it from grave. I can cast it from exile, buddy. You didn't get rid of Squee. You just have a Squee. Alright, so we're going to duress our opponent. Let's use this one. What does he have? This is what I'm more worried about. We're just going to cast Squee. Brings back Jade Light Ranger. I mean, we're going to have to deal with this 5/5 Jade Light here. I mean, the reason I tapped my lands for Squee is so that it would look less likely that I was holding something like a Settle or Wreckage. What? It worked. He swung with the Scarab God into Settle mana because it didn't look like there was Settle mana. That's right, opponent. That is right. Dragon Skull Summit. Could have swung for 2, right? Wham! Send a message. Hey, he's cycling. We know he's got Vraska's Contempts, things like that, so he does have at least 2 Vraska's Contempts in hand. The True Wreckage was on the opponent. Oh man, there's that. Bye-bye Gilded Lotus. Yep. Bye-bye Lotus. Yeah. So we'll just play Squee. Vraska's Contempt that. I mean, we have our 2 Squees already, so now Lost Legacy's just like, do we pull something out of their deck? Perhaps I should have pulled that. Maybe I should have went for Verdurous Gearhulk. Lily. Right. Just Lily it. Just use Lily. Bring back the Scarab God. Yeah, calling the Scarab God on turn 3 would have been pretty decent. Wrath to Exile. That's about right, Silent Watcher. That is about right. I mean, Wrath to Exile's... A lot of people call it, like, that's like Pyroclasm. I mean, it's Pyroclasm, only pirates are protected. So, I mean... Horde... Sorry, man. I couldn't make it work. I tried. I really did. I'll wait. I mean, we'll wait. I mean, we don't have anything going on. I'm sorry, Horde. Should have lost Legacy to draw a card. Okay. You're right. We would have been an extra card deeper. No, the deck would have been shuffled, so we have no clue what card we would have drawn or what cards we would have drawn after the fact. So yeah. We're dead either way. We can live one more turn by killing this. I'm going to Lost Legacy him for some information. Like I want to know everything about his deck here. Yeah, I should have done this a long time ago, called the Scarab God, but at this point I'm just looking for information. Fatal Push, Ravenous Chupacabras. Okay, so he's like a Sultai mid-range deck. Syncopates, Champion of Wits, J-Light Rangers, Merfolk Branchwalkers, Servant of the Conduits, Thrashing Brontodons. Yeah. Yep, that's a thing. Right. So we'll look at a couple more cards here. Yeah. I mean, we'd have got a Sweltering Suns, so that would have been one extra card down, but again, the deck would have been shuffled, so. Lost Legacy Duress out of the deck. Oh. So, putting things in his graveyard's not where I want to be. I do want the Crook, I want the Sorcerer's Spyglass, I want the Seal of Ways, I want... I'll keep a Lost Legacy. I'm going to pass on a Hazard's Monument for another Lost Legacy, and I'm going to run it like this. We're gonna give that a shot. Lost Legacy on Rat Colony. Right? I'm going to pull all the cards out of your deck, and then you can draw like five for the rats that we took out of your hand. I'm sure you'll get land, or like Metallic Mimic and something like that. Okay, can we keep this hand? We have a Vraska's Contempt, we have Squee, we have Gilded Lotus. Sure, I mean, it's as good as most. Just start with our early ones. Hopefully we'll draw something. I mean, I could start with Clifftop Retreat so that I can guarantee that I'm untapped all the way up to 3. Oh, Lost Legacy our dress out of our own deck. Ah ha ha. Okay, I mean, those are some like 1% plays that can change that top deck a little bit. I mean, those are some 1% plays. It. We'll see what happens here. Oh, punished! I get punished for playing the Clifftop Retreat first. I said that I wanted to play these just for this punishment, but we'll just play the Inspiring Bandit and play Squee. Squee! We can't squee! Squee! Sure, opponent. What happened? I don't think your decks like me for the Horde. I think you're right. I don't think your decks like me. Ooh, there's a Canyon Sleuth. That's going to be handy. At least it'll bring in this Canyon, or this Dragon Skull Summit untap. Send a message, start swinging. I don't think so. I want to see this combo. Want this combo. It's a good time to wipe the board, right? I get it. We could have played Gilded. We could have played this, played Gilded Lotus, and played the Sweltering Suns. We can do 2 damage. Ooh, 2 damage. Here we go. Let's see what's up here. Unstoppable Rob, hi, how you doing? Jade Light Ranger. We need a Paradox Engine. Oh, we need a Paradox Engine. We need so many pieces. Alright, pass the turn. Just one time. Let's see this Squee combo. Yeah, you can have the Vraska's Contempt. You got me. Got me, opponent. Alright. Well, might as well play Squee, right? Have a blocker at least. I mean, I guess I could have been doing that last turn. Every turn, just, you know, eating something out of the graveyard, making sure that I'm playing my Squee. Vraska's Contempt. And then we'll pass because we don't have anything else to do. Oh. It hurts so bad, guys. It does. I mean, hey, we have started. We have started. Now we need a Paradox Engine and another Squee. Like, that's it. That's all we need. Just 2 more cards. Or we're dead now. Oh, there is the Scarab God. So, Settle the Wreckage or Fumigate off the top is going to be our only real options here. No other card saves us. Fumigate would be great, because we could put the Scarab God in the... That's it, guys. Did not get there. We can cast Squee. That's all we can do. It's going to gain us a little bit of life, but we only have 1 blocker, so... Maybe we can make him not swing with the Scarab God because of whatever. Tap Settle mana. Scoop. It helps with this right here because you get to draw more cards. Yeah, but you need the squeeze, and you need both of them to even make that start happening. I mean, we would have gotten to see more cards. You draw a card, discard a card, so any card that we got, we wouldn't have been able to play it. If we played it, then we wouldn't be able to play the next turn. So we would be able to filter 1 card per turn. I mean, I get where you're coming from. Yes, that would filter 1 card per turn, but if you're trying to filter 1 card per turn, I mean, like, Bestiary lets you scry 1 card per turn. Like, there's a lot of cards that you're only going to get 1 card per turn out of it. But, right, he killed my Squee a lot. He did. He did do it at the end of turn, every turn, like, so that I wasn't able to cast it, things like that. Yeah, there's some interactions. You're going to run into some gameplays where one thing, I think the biggest problem with it is you're not doing anything. Like, you're not setting up any of your combo, really. You're not really setting up any of your combo until turn 5. I think those cast downs, if anything, need to be on Licensed Disintegration. I mean, you're going to get a little bit more value. It's not necessarily about the damage. It's about the instant speed ability to kill things like the Scarab God. Like, if we would have been able to kill, like, those 6/6 or something like that, or the Scarab God at the beginning of our end step, that would have put us off 1 whole turn without him getting his scries, things like that. I do think that Unlicensed Disintegration would help the deck out a lot, but the combo never happened, guys. I did not get the combo to happen. That doesn't mean that it won't happen. We just didn't get land multiple times. I will go back over the combo again so like you guys can give it a try yourself. It is a well-known fact that if you have a Paradox Engine on the battlefield and you can keep casting things that cost 3 mana or less, that Gilded Lotus will virtually just let you continuously cast those things. So a lot of times people would use things like eggs or something like that, something they could cast then sack, and they would just have a deck full of those, so they were able to do things like that. But in this deck, you're actually just casting a Squee, then casting another Squee, then casting another Squee, and casting another Squee, because the Squee is a legendary creature. When it enters, the second one enters the battlefield, you'll be able to kill one of them. So you just let one die, and then you just recast that one from the graveyard. And then you have a payout of something like Bantu's Monument, which as you're casting these, it'll just kill your opponent. Like, this is your finisher. However, if you have a Hazard's Monument down, you can go infinite mana, because, you know, Squee costs 1 less to cast, and you're making 3, and he only costs 2, so you go infinite on your red mana, and then you can, like, the last time you go to cast something, or one of those times once you have enough, you can actually tap and put all of that into a ribbons or something. But man, I hate that we never got it to go off for the Horde. Don't take this to F&M, dude. Don't play this deck. I mean, your Mardu Gearhulks is more powerful than this. I get that you were having some fun, but your Gearhulks deck was so much more powerful than this. I would this was fun. It was fun. It was cool. Don't take it back to F&M. Like, keep it in your backpack and be like, you want to see something funny? Here, let's play a game. Maybe it'll happen. You went 3-3 at F&M? Exactly. Exactly. Like, you should have been top 8, sir. You should have been top 8. You're a great player. So, don't take this to F&M. It was fun. Like, I took Pia's Revolution to F&M. It's fun to do that sometimes, but don't make this your main deck, this Dominiaria. Don't keep trying this. It will, I think it will result in some bad weekends. I do. Take your Mardu Gearhulks. Go top 8, man. Either way, guys, I did have fun trying to make it work. You'll just take Afflict next time. That Afflict deck was decent. Seemed to work in paper. I still think that your Mardu Gearhulks is one of the meanest decks floating around right now. I think Mardu Gearhulks has been a sleeper in the metas for quite some time. Either way, guys, my name's Eric. This is SideboardMTG. I had a lot of fun. I really did. I really did. I wanted this to happen. God, I wanted this to happen. I was excited about this deck. Never got there. We just never got there. Guys, have fun. We'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. I'm gonna go fix that @user right now. Stick around for the credits, and we'll see you next time. Trying to find some music. Man, it's all just horrible, right? Later, guys.